For the listener's discretion, this podcast contains strong language and adult themes that may not be suitable for children. These are not the views of the radio station or its affiliates.
Can we stop the arguing? Can we take a moment where we can calm down? It's just so exhausting. Swinging in the wind, going round and round. I know that we won't say sorry. You beg and I plead, but my heart can't beat until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations. I know that we won't say sorry until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations, baby. I see me addressing you. Let me put the smile right onto your face, tracing every inch of you. Using my tongue to find your happy place. I know that we can't play naughty. You beg and I plead, and you pull my heartstrings until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations. Until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations. I know that we won't say sorry until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you.
Oh, I have my microphone today. Hey. Singing it today.
Wait, what is that?
That's my lighter because you know it's time to light
I
my
was gonna
candle.
say, I was like, wait a minute now. Hold it.
You know it's time to light my candle. I won't forget to do that.
Oh, as long as you got your
Hello, Sally.
lighter. Okay.
Yes, you know
Hey, Sally.
It's time to get down with first class candles, honey. First class candles, you know what time it is.
For real.
Michelle Tucker, come on, my pure bliss. I have to do it.
Oh, I haven't figured out which one I want to keep in my office, though.
Woo.
You know, yeah, because I got a few. Well, I got a few.
Nobody believes you because they don't see it. Yours is like a magic mirror because we don't see it. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna have to figure out a way of putting something up so you can see it.
Well, you have a shelf behind you, so
yeah. But you notice the shelf, right? You notice there's a lot of gear on that shelf.
I don't care.
Oh, I'm okay. That's probably the same response Michelle would give me. So,
exactly, because you could take
right. So let me just not say
down.
nothing. Yeah. Let me just not even say nothing.
So there, first class candles right there. Can you have Catherine do a check for me right quick, please? Have her do a check for me.
The boss said she wants you to do a check for her. Yeah.
Please do a check for me while I'm lighting my candle on what I asked her to check earlier.
Okay. Check that again, please.
And give me a report. I'm going to check my candle. And as you know, our director of research, she has that link up there for you guys for first class candles. Make sure you go and give her some support. You know, if you guys are in college, okay, ASU, where can they find the ASU? Where can they find the ASU?
At the student union.
In what?
in the vending machine. There's a
In the
vending
vending
machine just
machines,
for
yes.
right there. That's it.
In the vending machine. What did she say? Only me. She can only hear me for some reason. Why is she only hearing me this time?
I don't know. Did she tell you that?
Say something else right now, Chris.
Figaro, Figaro.
What about now? Are you able to hear him now? Can you hear him now?
Can you hear me now? Probably not. It's not allowance day. Can you hear me now? Can you? That's what the kids, they would never hear me until it was time for me to give them their allowance. Then they could hear me. All right. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Houston, can you hear me?
Yes. Let's see if you're able to pick up on him a little bit over there now.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Let's give an answer quickly. Only me. All right, then. We'll take care of that really quickly like this. Very simple. Very simple right there. We'll keep that going. But I'm going to get my candle lit so you guys can see that flame going in the background. And I'll have that ambiance. You know, she has a lot of great fragrances. However, because there's a difference between but and however, okay? And it is however for me. I am not brand loyal on too many things. Pure Bliss is the fragrance that I like. You can see the roses in there, and I'll show you the one that I finished. Well, it's not really finished.
Before and after.
Yes. Right there. And this one will actually still burn. And when you go to her site, to her Instagram page, she actually teaches you how to maintain the candle. What? I am 51 years old, honey, and I have never in life, ever been told how to maintain a candle. Okay? And didn't know anything about it. Knew nothing about maintaining a candle. Nothing about it.
Today's class will be on how to maintain
your candles. So you go and you spend the money, right? You spend money for these very expensive, nice luxury candles, and then you have what's called waste. Not with first class candles, honey. That's why they had first class in front of it, because she teaches you how to get every bit of it out of there. Okay, so definitely go and check her out. Here's that Instagram page right there, because Sally's in the house. Now, we told you about my Sally, honey. She is going to make sure you have all of the information that you need when you come through here on going down on the mic. She's going to make sure you have all of that. And we have for you coming up today, our guest, our amazing guest. Man, are we going to get some information. I'm so excited. We have, so it's almost going to be like Sesame Street. Honey, she has so many letters behind her name.
I looked at it. I was like, okay.
Who was it? The count? It's the count that gets the numbers and all of that. But baby, I'm going to read them all to you. Usually I let the guests introduce themselves and say who they are and whatever. I have the page up, and I meant to have some tea, some warm tea for my throat to make sure, but I have it up and I'm going to read all of it to you, baby, because when you have somebody with this type of pedigree, you make sure that you do the introduction correctly. And I'm going to read it. I'm not even going to look at this screen. I'm going to look at my screen over here to make sure I read all of it for you. So she will be here with us later, Dr. Cherlisa Jackson. Okay, she will be with us.
Walking through that forest of letters behind her name. He will be with
us. Yes. Thank you. Beautiful. Absolutely. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I've got quite a few links for our guest tonight. Girl, I know you do. I know you do. What I tell my guests, they go through, and I tell you guys all the time, I ask the question, is there anything that you do not want brought up? because my director of research is going to find everything. And she has so much going on, so many amazing things that she's done through research and in the community and whatnot. Sally, I know you were doing the Kermit like this for her today. You are earning your worth today. I'm going to have to get a gift card for you. I'm definitely going to get you a candle and gift
glad
card.
that we got her from Jeopardy. You know what I'm saying?
I was praying that Sally was going to be in the house today. I said, because baby, the screen is going to be full of links. I don't have to do anything hardly today because Sally will have it worked out for me. I'm watching my time up there because I'm excited for this. I will not say 7:21 today. Not today.
Nope, not today. Not today.
Not today. It shall not.
We might do it at 19, but we won't do it at 21.
It will not.
When it comes to Sally, I have to say this. When it comes to Sally, people used to always think that Alex Trebek was smart. It's not that. It's that Sally was in the background and she was doing all the button pushing. See, and then after Alex passed away, it was kind of like, okay, well, I better go back to my part-time job over there with Moni and Chris. And so she came over here and just lit it up for us. So I'm glad.
Well, I would like to say that today she has admitted one of the 3 letters that we've been. Oh, he disappeared. He disappeared because she finally said it.
I'm still here.
What you came off the screen. Sally said I was actually offered a job at FBI. Now we've been saying, at least I have for years, and Chris for the time he's been with me, that Sally came from one or the other, FBI or CIA, because there is no way that this woman can find all the information that she finds on these guests. I don't tell Sally anything. I don't give her anything. A lot of times I don't even give her your names. I don't give her your bios. I don't give her any of that. She sees who's on here and we're just talking. And she starts typing. That's all that happens, guys. That is all that happens. I don't provide Sally anything.
I'd like to just say this. Did you notice her? Look at what it was. She was offered a job with the FBI. Now, because of certain sensitive issues, she can't confirm or deny whether she accepted the job, but
she probably had too much information on them. And they were like, never mind. No, ma'am.
She's probably
no, ma'am.
They're talking about, yeah. Now, about that guy, J. Edgar. Let me tell you what was really going on with him.
Never mind, ma'am. We may or may not get back with you. Didn't accept the job at the FBI. So you say, okay, we're not going to press the issue. We just leave it as, maybe you were, maybe you were not. Because we don't want no problems. Okay,
no,
we're just glad to have you.
But you notice,
we're just glad to have you.
It's got an I in it. Did you notice that?
What's that?
Every place she applied, it's got an I in it.
This is true. This is true.
FBI, CIA.
And you start talking too much and your screen starts blinking. I advise you to back down.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna shut up now because you know what I'm saying.
And mine is, I'm gonna back down too. We apologize.
Yeah, we are truly sorry.
Yours were you. I have never had blinking issues before, but I apologize. It's all cool. We really don't want to know anything else except thank you, Sally.
Get too close to the truth.
Thank you, Sally. I'm not trying to disappear, end up with no little holes in my neck, any of that. This is all a game.
Area 51.
51 is nothing but my age. That is all I know that it is. It's just my age.
I can't remember back that far.
But look, the heat has gotten to us. I'm sure we both were delirious, and that's all that was going on. That's all that was going on there. Yes. Our guest is having a good time down there laughing. She knows nothing about any of this except my age is 51. She's not admitting anything or any of that. She's not a part of it. I'm gonna keep her safe in this situation also. So yeah, yeah. That's all that's going on.
You're looking at this. See, I could just see somebody rolling up on her and they say something smart to her. Like I can just see 5-0 rolling up on her. We need to see your driver's license registration. blah, 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 blah. And then she gets out the car very calmly, coolly.
The fact that she got out the car is what
Well, first of all, let me explain something to you. Before you write this ticket, Junior, please understand I got more letters behind my name than you have in your name. Now go right ahead. That's all.
Yeah, the special license with the special hologram on it and whatnot. Yeah. Look, it's good to know people in special places. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm glad she's my friend and on my side. How about that?
I have to secure my place with her. I'm not sure yet, but I'm hoping I can get in there somehow.
I'm gonna say this, and Sally can testify to this. Sally was in the hospital, and I went to see her. I drove all the way out there, okay, and I got there, and the woman said, "Well, visiting hours are over." What the heck? I drove a long way, and I had some little bass that I put together for Sally, a little something in whatever. And so I called Sally. So she said, visiting hours over. I can't come in. This, that, and the other. She said, put her on the phone. Sally said she wants to talk to you.
Wait. How's it go? Now about that tax bill that you didn't pay last year. Okay. You will let
needless to say, because
right.
the woman was like, no, it's over. She cannot. It's not happening or any of that. And so, but it's Sally saying. So Sally Ann Francis is my real name, but Francis is a part of my middle name. I don't give out my real last name in the acting community. She said, but bottom line is, I was in there. The lady said, you can go see her for 15 minutes. What was I there? Almost 2 hours. I got in to see Sally, and Sally is she can, you can go. After Sally finished talking to her, I was like, okay, here's your pass. When I came out, the lady was gone. She had got off work and everything. I had been up there for so long, it was ridiculous. I said, I guess I know who got the juice. Okay.
Look who got the juice. Okay. She just put up a whole answer up here. Okay. Basically, what she just told us right here in this whole thing was,
I ignored it.
Right. Should you or any of your I am force be caught or killed, the secretary would disavow all knowledge of your actions. Usually,
I tried not to give it too much attention.
Okay.
I tried to. What's up, DJ Remix? So we have DJ Remix in the house. DJ Remix is one of the personalities of WUBI Ubiquity Radio. We want to make sure and give him what's up. Go ahead and put your information down there when they can catch you on the radio. One of the best radio stations out there, WUBI Ubiquity Radio. We want to thank all of the WUBI Ubiquity Radio listeners and viewers, because please believe you can watch us on WUBI Ubiquity Radio also. It is also TV. So go ahead and put your information down there when they can catch you in the mix, sir, in the mix. So put that on in there, and I appreciate you showing your love and support for coming and watching us. Yes, hello, DJ Remix. I am watching that clock. It is 7:19. Yes, our guest is getting ready to come on up with us in a moment here.
I was going to call up to Kansas City. To my godparents, they own Gates Barbecue. I was gonna call up there and get some barbecue, but it won't get here in time for the show.
What are you talking about? What was we gonna get some barbecue
because
for?
I figured since we have all these people on online, we might want to get them some food. I was going to see what we could do here. Sally and the FBI, CIA, whatever group she with.
Oh my gosh!
And then. DJ Remix, he got everybody following him on the air. So we want to
we're getting ready to have our guest come on here. It is 7:20, and it's time for her to come on and grace us with her presence. Absolutely. Dr. Cherlisa, are you ready to come on in with us right now? Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for being with us.
Behind the scenes, I see no evil. I heard none. I speak none. I don't know nothing about what y'all talking about. I come in.
You just got here. You just got here.
Stop by the number. That's all. I wasn't even supposed to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for being here. So, like I said, I'm going to turn this way right quick. I'm going to take me a good sip of water. I want to adjust my glasses. And I'm going to go over here. This is from off of your Facebook page that you have. Move my mic a little bit, that you have pinned to the top over there.
Well, please go first. Please go. There you go.
And it says, finally, I got to have this moment as Dr. Jackson, class of 2021. Many might recall my receiving my degree in May of 2021. Yet, due to pandemic restrictions, walking the stage for graduation was postponed. It was such a challenging thing to accept after spending nearly 5 years working on this degree. I've been grateful for the credentials in the meantime and having been patiently awaiting the moment for everything to feel official with a proper hooding ceremony. This moment has now arrived and it's happening in June. Earning a doctoral education happens to about 1% of the population. And this is an even smaller number for Black people and an even smaller number for Black women. You can imagine how pivotal this moment is for me, my parents, my family, my future children, my sorority, my tribe, and my community. I appreciate everyone who has supported me in this doctoral journey and all of my published doctoral research. At age 37 and 4 degrees later, I stand before you all in a complete adoration of the final educational accomplishment, fiercely unapologetic and ready to serve. Sincerely, Dr. Jackson. I'm not done. PhD, Health Education and Promotion. MA, Counseling and Guidance. Master of Public Health. BA, Psychology. I'm not done. Licensed Professional Counselor. National Certified Counselor. Certified Health Education Specialist. Now, are there more added since then?
I am now a certified supervisor for bringing in new LPCs, and that is the final thing I am adding to my name, and that just happened not too long ago. It's a few weeks ago.
All right, sister.
Well, we got to find that. We're going to have to put that one in there.
I am absolutely grateful for the introduction, and they all make sense, right? A lot of people get a lot of different things and they don't use them. Just a bunch of expensive pieces of paper that just kind of fall by the wayside. The intent was to make sure that they all blended in an intersectional approach of both mental health and public health to do behavioral health. And that is my jam, and that's my passion. So I'm glad you listed it all. I know everybody's like alphabet soup, right? And being able to recognize it. And, things just kept adding, which is very interesting because originally I was trying to be a writer. I didn't have any interest in college whatsoever. I was like, I'm going to write, I'm going to sing, I'm going to be a performer. And then I ended up in school. So it's kind of interesting.
Well, technically you did write. You wrote a lot.
I did. And actually here's the book, right? That just came out. I think that was dropped there. And this is the very first one. Now, have I been writing my whole life? Yes. Has it finally actually happened anyway? Yes. So it's a full circle moment that even when you try to veer off the path and do something that you think is going to take up a good portion of your time, somehow things find their way back to you if you live long enough. And so I ended up being a writer anyway. So
is that the book, Empowering the Broken?
It surely is.
Okay. See, I got it before you even put it up there, Moni. Yes. Okay. I mean, speaking as a person who is broken, I wanted to get a few copies of this. You understand?
I appreciate that. Yes. I am grateful that it's actually finally able to be displayed. There's a bunch of different experiences that have kind of led me to the path that I'm on. And I know without having a very detailed conversation about what happened on the course of my life, this was a very dark path or a dark chapter where we all enter into relationships that don't work out so well. And when you get caught up in loving too hard or thinking you can change a person or losing yourself, it's very easy to get into a toxic relationship. And so this is me coming out of it, being a survivor of having been in a violent relationship. And most people, they see this and they're like, how? There's no way. You're just so joyful, this. And I get all the effervescence compliments and conversations, but that has nothing to do with what happens when you love someone beyond understanding and beyond actual change. You get pulled in. And so I have helped clients who come to me for relationships and try to understand how to repair their self-esteem and how to be able to understand their own sexual decisions, and their lives are so intertwined with mistakes that we don't even know we're making because it's such a normalcy. So and yes, I see the comments of going to college basically at 6 years old, and I'm a career student. so yes, but yeah, it's a wonderful thing to be here. I'm grateful to be able to share this platform with you both and with anyone that's listening, just to be able to understand what drives a person to want to be in school and do all these different things and just create all these different certifications and ideas. And really you get tired of hearing you can't do that, or you don't belong in that room, or no, you can't have that, and enough of that. You just get fed up to want to do it yourself and to find your highest limit. And so I tried to go in that direction to find the best direction I could kind of get into. And I had no idea, if you had asked me when I first started, that this is where I'd be. No.
Well, I want to say thank you for letting us find out about the book, your book release. Thank you, because we want to put this up here. You also have a podcast, and you were going to share that, Even Me, with Dr. Cherlisa, and it's part of your Therapy Thursday, right? And so I want to share that up there so they can hear more of your advice if they go there on your Therapy Thursday in your podcast, and they can hear more of this great advice and what you have to say and share with them on your podcast on Therapy Thursday, correct?
That is correct.
And so where can they find your podcast?
Right there. Yes. Good job. So the Therapy Thursday, I know that I thought this hashtag was originally to me, but a lot of people like to kind of put themselves under it, but I use it anyway. It doesn't matter, with a big old giant green heart, because I feel like it's going to be mine one day where I can put it on some shirts or something. But Even Me is found on all streaming platforms, really, but Buzzsprout is a place where I actually upload it. So if you end up going to evenme.buzzsprout.com, you'll actually see all the episodes pull up there. But if you have a favorite streaming platform, you just type it in and you'll see it, and you'll see me with this big old giant, smile and all the different colors. Some really broad and lifelike with everything that I'm trying to do. And you'll find it very interesting, different topics that I don't think many people think about. Their self-esteem being, yep, there I am, there's me. Their self-esteem impacting their sexual decisions in your relationships. Most people probably don't recognize that how you feel about yourself guides everything. It guides whether or not you go to a medical physician and get checked out. It guides whether or not you get divorced and actually feel like you could do better. It guides whether or not you think you can have children or how you parent. It's all a part of how you take care of yourself and how you speak to yourself and what you actually do with your daily routine. And so everything that you could think of that's a topic of how do I have this impacting my life all turns into how you are impacted by your self-esteem, because I have been impacted by my own self-esteem in ways in which you don't even recognize. We put ourselves on the back burner and we think resiliency is the answer, and we usually don't make any time for ourselves. And if you happen to be of the BIPOC population, especially if you're a Black woman, you have been enduring spaces of not actually knowing how to put yourself first, because you're supposed to take care of the whole family. And everything in a completely different way as a nurturer and a caregiver. And when somebody says, take a break, you're like, I can't do that. And so you live years, decades even. So you don't know self-care until you're probably in your 30s or your 40s. It's this new phenomenon of what put me first. Oh, I've never thought of that. And so I'm trying to change the narrative of helping us unlearn that we should not be first.
Wow. I say, wow, that is what are you
I'm
talking about?
just going, wow, okay.
Yeah.
That is, and it's not like I'm 51. I've heard it before. However, it is still a phenomenon, and I've heard it. I've lived by that philosophy for so long to put others first that I still need to hear the, hey, put yourself first, put your mask on first, more to be able to reprogram.
That's right.
So yeah,
It's
so I
hard
still
to
need to hear it.
reprogram that.
Yeah, I still need to
you've
hear
been
it.
doing- Yeah, when you've been doing it, I mean, I'm older than both of you. Matter of fact, I think I'm older than both of you with both your ages together.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but
No, but you was waiting to, so I figured I'd go ahead and put it out there. Because my dinosaur is parked in your backyard. Other than that, you know, it's when you've been that person that's done everything, and it's okay. Let me do this. Let me do. To hear those two words, self first, is like, are those two supposed to go together? You know, it's a strange phenomenon. It really is.
It is. And our culture, if I'm just going to speak flat out honest, we don't ever have never really thought about therapy as a thing, healing as a thing. We're just now becoming a little bit more vulnerable to talk about family business and things that could actually help and save our lives, stuff that we learn to keep silent and suffer silently, and how our religious structure has taught us over so many generations to do it a certain kind of way, where we live in this space of toxic positivity. And we didn't have a name for it, but it's the I'm too blessed to be stressed. No, I actually have depression or stress or frustration, or I'm sad. Let me be something other than happy. I'm not always going to be happy. And we keep pushing this narrative that the only emotion you're supposed to feel is joy, when some days you just don't have it. And it's actually understanding your capacity. And I'm not going to leave the men out, right? Because we're continuing, even though, emotionally we're connected. We just don't give y'all enough credit either for having a later start than most women, because you don't get a chance to understand your emotions until after you have someone who's telling you you don't understand your emotions. Now it's on your radar that you don't. And so there's so many things that we have to fix when we talk about healing ourselves, and it hasn't happened. So self-care, this is not a new phenomenon, but constantly living in a state of, I can keep going. I can put more on my plate. Oh no, it's all right. We live in the normalcy of survival mode. So it's a problem because of that.
But I think it starts when we're kids, and you hear that first thing of what goes on in this house stays in this house.
Right. Family business.
Right. So it's like, okay, so whatever it is, we need to keep compressing it. We need to be the human trash compactor and just keep pressing it down, putting more on it. And then when we finally blow, it's usually in a relationship that's beneficial to us, but we have blown at the wrong person at the wrong time. The person is trying to reach in. We feel threatened that they're trying to reach in, and we go sideways.
Yeah. And that's so true. And I think it's especially worse for men,
I'm speaking from experience. I'm telling you, from me, it's like, okay, I've got 9 sisters. Okay.
Woo.
So, I went to college, so I can go to the bathroom by myself. It was basically a situation where they didn't see me the whole first semester. Okay. When I did show up, I looked like a California raisin. All right. What it came down to is, you have to do this. You have to do that. You and your brothers have to do this. So for us, it was constantly push. Matter of fact, on one of our shows, it came out. You remember that, Moni?
Yeah.
One of our shows, it was like just for no reason. But it was a reason, but I didn't understand it at the time.
Yeah.
And that's where we have to have this one face and speaking, because that's all I am as a black man. We have to have one face in the street. Yeah, I wish you would. See, and then we don't know how to turn that off before we put the key in the door. So when we come in, we're still in that mode. Yeah, I wish you would. But Daddy, I just asked for lunch money. Go get a job. It's like,
Yeah, but very true though.
right.
Very true.
You're just there. And by the time you turn it off, the kids are in school, they don't get to see that side of you because you finally calm down. But then the day starts again. You come home 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it starts all over again. So yeah, I've learned how to see it and just isolate myself when it happens. And at $5.29 a gallon, I'm not isolating long. Yeah, but yeah, that's I do see it. I do.
So now when you do your show, is your show live? Are people calling in? Or are they typing in a message, or is it pre-recorded, or how do you do your podcast?
Pre-recorded. So that's a really awesome thing. I would love to get to a place of being like Frasier and having some sort of call-in show. That'd be amazing. I'm listening, right? I'm listening. But for the most part, it's pre-recorded. Just being able to kind of have a script. There's some sort of a feature that comes in. I am trying to pivot where this is visual. So I like this format. Originally, I wasn't so sure when I first started that I wanted to be able to do that. But I know now that because people are asking for partnerships and they want to come on the show, and I'm trying to structure that before I just keep sprinkling things in. I want something that's a little more solid and being able to do it every single episode. And so right now it's pre-recorded. But the goal is to get it to where it's live, or that there's an opportunity for someone to call in and be able to give something in real time. But doing it on like IG Live, I think is one of the things most people do. And I'm not really going to do that platform. I think it's limited in so many different things you can't really do. And the same thing when it comes to Facebook Live and things like that. But StreamYard is awesome. I think this is something I would love to kind of do.
We'll talk later. Talk later.
This actually gives it credibility.
Yeah.
When you have something like this, a platform like this, I mean, let's keep it real. Facebook is about everybody's drama. Instagram.
Was harsh.
No, it's the truth. Okay, you go to Facebook and all you hear about is everybody's drama.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this, because that's partially. But let me tell you, when you have a third party like this, the main thing is you own the material. And so you are able to pump out too, because like right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm pumping out 7 different platforms right now.
What?
At the same time.
7 platforms? Hold on for a minute.
Awesome.
And get out of here.
I know we was coming out that many people. I thought it was just us. I'm sorry, my bad.
And so, but one of those platforms then pumps out to 7 more at the same time. So essentially, we're pumping out to 14 in all together. And when you do that, so Facebook and all of its rules don't apply because they don't have control of it.
Noted.
So like what, so it's a whole nother thing, and we can talk about it later. It has so many benefits to it and so many different controls and other things that, we can talk later. We can definitely talk later.
Something will be preempted until later.
What you saying down there, Buffy? Hey, Buffy, my love. Collaboration and owning your own material. It very much so is powerful. It is so powerful. And I've made those mistakes. I haven't been doing this show since 2019. I made a lot of mistakes.
We graduated cups and strings.
And I don't mind telling other people. Like I will tell you, honey. I will tell you and not have a problem. Hey, Latoya.
Hey, Love. Hey, Buffy.
because there's nothing wrong with sharing and letting you benefit off of my mistakes. No need to sit here and watch you make the same mistakes. You know what I mean? It's absolutely not a problem. It's the real currency these days. Absolutely. And places like Facebook and Facebook is notorious. They will take your stuff and chop it up and mute it and
Right.
let's not even get to this monetization stuff right now. I'm just furious, but
And
So,
then
man.
they'll tell you after they cut it up that they own it.
so
Correct.
I want to hear about Doctor of Health and Education and Promotion. Tell us about that facet of your life, please.
Sure. So it aligns to the Master of Public Health that you mentioned earlier. And my research specifically was for African American females and herpes simplex virus 2. It is so overrun and a lot of different things that we are not talking about. And if COVID and the pandemic taught us anything, is that symptomology is not the only way that you can be infected with something. And so this is a particular infection, and all sexual health diseases and prevention that could be happening, right? And all the different infections that we have in our entire lives, we're disproportionately impacted as African American anything, right? And so I wanted to find out, well, why are we not talking about it? And really their entire, and I say there, and we understand there's the alphabet people, we'll just keep them as the alphabet people. They have different intent on what they put out. And so if I can't monetize certain things at this time, I won't be able to make an impact. The biggest thing that I found in the research is that most people are saying, or have at least found now to be the thing that they're kind of advertising, is that we haven't said anything because we're finding out that you can test false positive, right? And a lot of different times we go to the doctors and the medical physicians and the healthcare professionals and anybody who has the ranking to test you, you think that you're testing for everything and you're not. So that's the one thing that most people are not aware of. And if you don't actually have a printout of your actual test results, you're thinking you've tested for everything. And you're like, I'm good. But unfortunately, you aren't able to see everything. And so you have to know and understand symptomology is what we're taught in sexual health, but we don't actually have everything as symptomology based. And so this is one of those infections that is not about symptomology. 50%, at least on record, and that's not everybody that's ever been tested on this planet, but 50% has been found to be African-American females that are literally impacted. And so if that is the case and 30% goes to males, we have 80% of people that are impacted with this that are walking around, don't even know it. And if you test for it and it's not an actual active lesion, then you could be falsely positive. That's new information. So a lot of these years that we've been telling people you have this infection, we're now having new research that says that's not actually accurate, because if I test your blood and you're within this range, you could have a false positive. The same way when we find out for having COVID, that if I test you with a certain test, it's going to look like your antibodies are still there when you don't have an active infection. The best example I can give you, so a person who's already been healed from COVID, you take a certain kind of test, it's going to clear you and say, yeah, you've had it, but you no longer have it. That's exactly what they're finding out with HSV2, is that you've been exposed, but you don't have an actual infection. But the only tests that can do that exist in one spot, and they can't do it widespread because it costs too much. Even when you don't have insurance or you try to do it out of pocket, each test is like $200. That costs a physician a lot of money. So a lot of people, including the alphabet people, have said, if you don't actually have an active lesion, don't worry about it. You don't have a problem. And that's what's in the research now. So all the things we keep decorating with cold sores and fever blisters are actually HSV1. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to say it, but that's the most common form. So anyone who's ever had a fever blister, anyone who's ever had a cold sore, anyone who's ever been infected in that way and could have had it as child, rearing, anything. So I may have been kissed a certain kind of way from a parent that was shedding this virus to me. I may have used this chapstick or something. This is new information. So that is where my heart rested in it in the master's program, was like, why is nobody talking about this? And we used to see the Wrap It Up campaigns and lots of PSAs to tell us about our health. And now that's not what you see. They don't even have the funding geared towards that, because it's very much so in HIV, and it's stayed there for so long. And I know your faces are like, what?
Yeah,
I want to go backwards right quick, and I want to try and put this in a child's view for me right quick, and because of information that I have been told and heard and everything, because I used to work in the hospitals and all that stuff, and okay, so are you saying that because it used to be you have to have an active lesion in order to be tested for herpes? Mm-hmm. Are you saying that that is not the proper way to test?
That is new information that has been stated, that if you have an active lesion, great, come on in, we'll test you. We have the ELISA that will actually find out whether there's an active infection that will show up on this test. But the thing that they don't say is whether or not that active infection is for life. That's what we've been told, that you can't get rid of it. It stays dormant. There's something there. But what they're not explaining is that that's the antibodies of having been exposed. It's not an active infection. And so when you test the blood, they're saying now, well, you test the blood, we can't confirm that doing that is going to actually give you saying that you have this diagnosis, because in the event that it's within this range of like 0 to 3.5, I think is the number, it's showing as kind of like how you're undetectable. When we think about undetectable in HIV, and you have this rarity of actually passing it if it has a low viral count, that's the exact same information that's being advertised now. Is we probably should have told you that you don't actually have an active infection. It's the antibody exposure and the tests we're giving you. And I give you a perfect example of that. A person who came into me, I used to do testing for the community and the county for Fulton County. And I used to be the person who drew the blood and do all the little rapid tests and things like that, right? And so when a person came in who had an active HIV infection, but had a low viral count, on a rapid test, regularly pricking the finger, it came up negative. Because those tests are only for when I count your viral count, your viral load, whether or not it looks like it's an active infection. And to that test, it looks like you've been exposed. If I take a NAT test, which actually looks for the Western blot and all the stuff that you can't find that's been there, but it's not there anymore, that's the test that's going to show up positive. So the same thing that's happening with HSV2, they have the cheaper version of the test that just tests for antibodies, but they've been telling people that this is the test that tells you have it forever, because it's always going to test for antibodies if you've ever been exposed. They're not telling you there's a Western blot we're not taking that exists at the University of Washington. It's the only place that's actually been advertised to have it. That's the problem. So I saw that and I was like, I'm dedicating the research to this. Everybody must know this. But you have to tread lightly with exposing different entities, because things do happen when you move faster than what has been advertised willingly. So you have to actually partner with individuals to say it gently, because you can't just run a truth campaign, right? Same way that they used to do. You're not going to be able to do that, because you're going to turn this whole country into a frenzy of, why have we been lied to? And so you have to look at the research, like this thing that's scrolling at the bottom, find it, read it, look at it, because I actually have my whole 200-page dissertation I can give to you if you want to read it. Has all the interviews I did with people, all of the CDC information, the World Health Organization information, all of the task force people, anybody who's had input at all, period, point blank, in sexual health is included inside of this information. And it's just stuff that is not widespread. So yeah, I know. We don't have time to cover the whole thing.
I know, right? Like, this is my jam right here, honey. I could stay here all day.
Look, I'm sitting here saying to myself, okay, because you mentioned somebody who presents with the lesions. So now if the person presents with the lesions and the test comes back that they don't have the antibodies, you've done all the proper testing, then my question is, where did the lesions come from?
Great question. So if you're testing lesions, the likelihood of having an infection is there, because there's actually something that you've been exposed to. You have proof of that. There's actual symptomology, and the test works with symptomology. If I test you for thinking that there's symptomology, I'm actually testing your blood only for antibody exposure. I haven't actually tested whether or not you're active in your infection. That's the part that's not explained. So in a chlamydia test, a gonorrhea test, anything that's an HIV and any other hepatitis B, the whole list of anything that you can think of when you're testing for it, depending on the test they give you, that's the result that you're going to get. And so depending on your viral load and what's actually happening with your body, even down to syphilis testing, if it's so latent and it's far beyond whatever, you may not have symptoms. Like there's so many different things and it's layered, but they're just like, go get tested. Then you get this printout without an explanation, and there isn't a whole lot of health literacy to even know what to ask. So you're looking at something that just says, I have it, and they're telling you, yep, you got it. And then you just take that information, and for years you assume. So all the individuals that I interviewed, anybody that you talk to who's ever had to have this in as information for them, that's the number one thing that they go to, and realizing I was told it's forever. And then you go down to google.com search of stuff and you're going to find it's forever. You can't get rid of it, but they're not explaining it's the antibodies you can't get rid of. Absolutely not. If you ever had a hepatitis, the little vaccine, the titer series, then yes, if you're
at least a little circle on your arm.
Well, if you ever work with blood, if you ever draw blood, they make you have that hepatitis B insert, like you're going to have that to protect you. And if you take that test later, it's going to show that you've had a series done, but you don't have hepatitis B. It's just an inactive vaccination inside your body. And a lot of things that are run that way, that's what pulls up in your system. So the same thing with COVID, the same thing with if you've ever had syphilis, the same thing with HIV, the same thing with any infection that has ever been antibodies in your system. That's what you find. But that's jargon to the public. So it's just easier to say, you got it. You got it for life.
That's the thing. You're sitting here with this printout of 925 things that they found, that they said they give you this paper. And you're sitting there going, okay, I might as well just call it quits because I got everything on this paper. And
I might as well never wrap up again.
Wrap up. Look, I'm not even going to let it come out. Okay. It's like, you know what I'm saying? No, stay.
Yeah, but no, seriously, some people take that perspective of, I might as well not wrap up nothing.
No, because I already got it. And what am I? I'm not protecting me. That's the thing. For me, that's the beauty of having
especially with herpes. And especially with herpes, because you're told you got it for life. It's nothing else you can do. Blase skippy bobo.
Exactly. And the research even shows that, and it was specifically for women that was highlighted, this specific thing I'm about to say, is that we stay in relationships based upon the connection, and it's far likely that we're not going to be able to actually have a disconnect or something where we start asking for condoms and certain things and all sorts of information where, yes, I'm going to stay with you based upon you being with me. I'm excited to be in a relationship. I'm excited to be something that I can to be and to call my own. And so I'm likely to stick around in a relationship where you could cheat on me. You could give me something. I might not put that condom on because we're wanting trust to just be around in something. And so the research is saying I'm more likely to just be excited to be here. And if I start bringing up testing conversations and all these different, it's going to look like you can't trust me. So I'd rather us just be in a position of taking the condoms off when I trust you and not having a testing conversation. There's people that have been married for years and they say, oh, I don't need to be tested. I'm married. What does that mean? You only know your results. My results are not yours. So me only waiting for me to be symptomatic with you doesn't mean that you don't have something, right? And so I think a lot of us are trying to unlearn this idea of let me get tested regardless of my love for someone. Let me get tested regardless of what I think I can trust in this person, because it's not to be taken personally. It's to just say, I got to protect me. And this is what protection looks like. And our research is showing that I'm more likely not to protect me if there's love involved and there's commitment established. Then I'm all right putting myself at risk in a certain kind of way. And all of the research just guides to where love is not a condom, but it's being treated as one.
That's a good statement. That's a good statement right there.
Do you remember when we got married and I told you I had something of yours? Don't tell me about not getting tested. I got your book. I know every last one of these women's names up in this book. We're going down the whole list. Yeah, that's that's what you have to face. You have to face the history of that person.
Exactly.
That's the statement they used to say, no blood, no love, honey. That's what they used to say. And then in your elderly community, it's a high STD rate because they think, oh, because I no longer have a cycle and, I no longer have this going on. We can just, hey, we safe now. I will tell you, in my years of going, when I had my nonprofit organization back in Indiana, and I would often be in the senior centers. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of sex going on in the senior center.
Cutting up.
The folks ain't working on the night shift. They all down the hall, okay, hanging out, and the patients are just running rampant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, there's a lot of it going on. And I mean, as you should be, live your life, have your time. But please close your doors. Can I just ask y'all to do that one thing for me? Close your doors. It's a lot of it going on. And
I want to be walking down the hall and seeing nothing, right?
No, please. And there's education that definitely needs to go on in there also, because they really, really don't think that they need to protect themselves with condoms and different things like that because of their age. They don't. They really don't.
Exactly.
So very, very interesting with that. So what are some of the other things that you found yourself in the community having to educate and the interesting things? Because that right there has got me going. Oh, that one's got me going.
That's a big one. Now, when it comes to just educating on how trauma impacts individuals, I think the main thing when it comes to sex health, it's a lot of sex health when it comes to public health. People are really interested in themselves making better decisions, but they're not really sure that they're connected in certain ways. And so when we are making life choices and life decisions and having sex health and trying to understand, trauma is so connected to everything. And so now in the community, it's, did you experience trauma with having a conversation about it? Did you experience trauma about wanting to come out to your family? Was there trauma with what was told to you that you could be in your life? Was there ever an understanding of these narratives and things that were happening of voices that don't belong to you? And so when we're talking about public health and what's actually a public health problem now, it's mental health not being addressed and how we literally are impacted by what we think every day. I use a modality of rational emotive behavior therapy, and it's kin to cognitive behavioral therapy, where you really have these thoughts that get you stuck. And it creates a life of you not really understanding that things trigger you to have these beliefs about yourself. And then you should all over yourself and say, I should be doing this. And this is what it should look like. And all these things where you wag your finger at yourself. And all of the narratives that are painting this picture for you, most of it doesn't even belong to you. Some things are from family dynamics and generational patterns and curses that we haven't released. And that's what's found in the public health field and the mental health field, is all of these things that we're not unlearning. And so most of it is trauma related and mental health related and sexual health related. Literally, there's this bridge that needs to be happening between having conversations that we actually have the information to have. I cannot have a health literacy conversation if I don't know what to ask. But the current models put it all on the person to have that conversation with your providers. Every time they'll tell you, talk to your healthcare provider. What if I don't trust the medical field? What if I don't even know what to say? How am I going to bring it up? And you're putting it in me, in my hands only, to make better decisions, but you haven't educated me. And the systems that are out there and the resources that are out there are misinforming me. So when I come to you and I ask you, I've WebMD'd myself to pieces because that's all I got. And so we're trying to find better ways to be able to educate and inform. And I want informed decisions for people. We have got to quit creating this thought that, well, if I give you too much information, you're going to make all these decisions. You're going to do it anyway. I think the most popular is, let's not tell young people about condoms. They want sex anyway. They like the idea because they've seen it in their television shows. They've been immersed in hormones all day, and they talk to each other and they're Googling stuff. They have way too much access. So you're not doing them a service by holding it hostage. These kids are doing things way younger than you are comfortable hearing about. And I'm talking to them. That's how I know, because I'm like, oh, you're 8. what do you mean you're right? And stuff like that. Parents have got to get out of the mindset, and law officials, stakeholders in any capacity have to be able to embrace this is the community we have right now. It's not just adults having access to this stuff. These kids are doing drugs. These kids are drinking. These kids are having sex. These kids are talking a certain kind of way. They're violent. They're obsessed with certain things they don't need to know about. Accept that. Now let's make different decisions, and the traumas that they're experiencing and how we're broken, bleeding on these kids and bleeding on each other, and we're not fixing anything. We just keep making new problems.
Not giving them great avenues to be able to get quality information.
Exactly.
It was weird because I remember living in Kansas City, Missouri.
Ah, you're Kansas. So you mentioned Kansas City twice. And I was like, I'm Kansas City native, Missouri. Yeah.
Oh, that's scary.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I used to work with Mayor Cleaver and Alvin Brooks. And so I remember we'd have these conversations down at Ad Hoc about what are we going to do with these kids every week, every weekend, Thursday. And when I say weekend, it started on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Alvin Brooks and I would be riding around the city because something was jumping off. And it was usually either gang related or sex related or something. And these kids had no idea what they were doing. There was no resources for them to learn, no anything. And then when we go talk to them, we look like Martians with one eye in the middle of our forehead. Like, what are you talking about? Really? Okay, how about a condom? A what?
Right.
Like, really? No. So I'm appreciative of everything you've done to try to put it in a learning format, because that's what was missing. The learning, the learning and the asking questions of them. Like you said, you had the 8-year-old. They told you this. You what? Okay, but you didn't stop communicating. What? Okay, let's move on. We broken that as we are. What? Okay, you on lockdown.
Right.
Okay, what? Okay, you on lockdown. See, we're back in Big Mama's time. Okay, we're living the way Big Mama taught us how to live, and you bring a new approach to it. It sounds to me like it's a more youthful, cohesive approach where you meet them on a certain level. You meet people. Let me not say them. People on a certain level, and you adjust accordingly. So I like it.
I appreciate the affirmations. You're right. There's a child in all of us. And even though we're chronologically older, there's all these different people that are walking around in their 30s, their 40s, their 70s. And we're assuming that they're actually the age that they are, but they're not. We're so emotionally stunted. Yes. Many of us are really still 10. Many of us are still at the age we were hurt. We're stuck there and we don't even recognize it. So many of the different things we're punishing curiosity, not realizing we're still in those spaces of being broken and hurt. And we don't know how to fix that because we're constantly judging based upon our age and the social milestones. This is what it looks like to be 40. This is what you need to be doing at 18 and 21. But I haven't equipped you. So I'm really emotionally stunting you every birthday you have, and you're still 10. And I'm thinking, well, you should know better. How? You haven't healed or gone back and grabbed that younger version of you. So you're right. You got to speak to the youth. You've got to speak to the version of everybody's youth inside them, regardless of their age. And that's the part that's missing is shaming individuals for being curious or not knowing or misguided. Like there isn't anything that you can just automatically assume to be correct. And until we fix that, our programs don't even honor that, then we're going to have continued individuals who grow up and then they birth individuals that they continue to misinform. And then every generational curse that keeps getting passed down, we're just undoing stuff where you have generations trying to heal, but they keep encountering individuals who don't want to. So we're so far behind because we constantly look at a person and we say, you are the age that you currently are and you're not. There's information you don't have access to, or you didn't know how to heal. So you're still there and blaming yourself for resources you didn't have at the time. And so it's very important to help people understand it's okay. you know, there's stuff you don't know, and we didn't know it. We're just learning it, and we don't have to keep sitting up hoity-toity with expertise like, oh, I'm, you know, saved and sanctified kind of energy. Like, I just learned this last week or last month. You know, I have to get down to the level of saying I made mistakes too. I did the exact same thing, and I don't want to shame you for that. I want you to feel more empowered to make better decisions and actually be able to change the course of where you could end up if you keep doing the stuff you're doing. I don't want to tell you that you messed up because you didn't know. You're a product of who taught you and who showed you and what you were around. If I blame you for that,
you've been listening to my conversations with one of my daughters. You really have, because we have every night we have that conversation.
Well, but let me interrupt you right quick, Chris, if I can, please, because I want to key in on something very, very important that you just did. That part right there, because I don't know if you even watched the show before, because I'm always with doctors with my MS, my lupus, and all that other stuff. And the frustration when you just said, you know, I want to say, I'm sorry, or, you know, I apologize, and I ain't always right, and all that frees us on the other side as the patient, as the client, to be like, oh, thank you, you know, or not sit there as hoity-toity and look at you and say you're wrong. It's like, thank you for being human, you know, because we sit over here and all these mistakes keep getting made that affect our lives, and we trust the clinician, and it's like we don't trust anymore, because all these mistakes keep getting made, and we're trying and we keep coming through the door, and it's like you keep effing up and not acting like it's affecting my life. Exactly. And so what am I going to keep coming in here for? Then you just keep going next.
Right.
You know, and like you didn't just cause a whole nother problem for me and wonder why I'm angry and I got a whole attitude now. You know, what is your problem? What's my problem? And then when I go to complete off, then, oh, let me write that note down. I got a note for you to write, you know, that type of thing.
It was real talk, though.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, you know, those are the things that cut it off. And like you said, now it's a whole nother generation, because now I'm saying, or I may say, well, F a doctor, you know what I'm saying? You want to if you want to, or I may build that next generation that don't want to go, or they saw their mother go through the struggle. And you're like, I ain't getting ready to deal with that mess. I saw my mama go through it. She tried, and look what happened to her. You know, that type of thing. But then to see someone or clinicians say, you know what? Let me try and get this right. Yes, this system was jacked up. Oh, I'm sorry, or yeah, I messed up. To see the human being part of it instead of the white coat and just staring at me.
That's it. That's the I messed up. You know, like, okay, it's my bad. Let me correct it as a parent. That I'm doing now. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, I gave you wrong info, and that was based on the deal. And you know what? My bad. And we're revisiting that, and that's helping.
Right.
But
you want to try and teach me to do that with your plan that you give me, but I don't see you doing that as you know, a clinician to me. So how is that working? Right. I want to bring your website up here for the people to see, and maybe you tell me a few things that you like to show the people in here.
We're on the same page. I've been looking at this all night. I get down to the bottom
for them to maybe look at through here, because I could go through every single thing for your services. Let me bring that on up. Come on through services, because it's a beautiful website now.
Thank you.
I love it.
Absolutely. Yes. With your counseling, website, training. Click here for more information.
Go all the way over to the book. See, that's what got me. Click all the way over to where it says Author's Corner.
Well, I'm gonna click each one because we have you can get to your podcast right here too. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I
Here.
used to have it streaming on the page and where you could actually just go through it. And then I ended up just having it linked to like send you directly to the Even Me website. And the same thing with the book. It used to be before there were pre-orders where I would sign them.
Mm-hmm.
And now being able to, I can still probably add that back because people are like, I want a signed copy. I'm like, oh, well, I can add that there. I just sent you to Amazon about, maybe people. But yeah, what you're looking at, I mean, there's been just different panels, different discussions. Sex in the Dark is a big one for Emory. They have it every year. We usually just come in and educate the students. I'm super excited that they do that because they come in with so many different questions and individuals aren't talking to parents. I know parents are like, you could tell me anything. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to somebody else.
The first time I tried to talk to you, you jumped down my throat.
Correct.
That whole relationship.
Exactly. Right. And that's what people assume that's where you would want to get information. The only thing that you're really doing is trying to make people understand that they can be trustworthy with you, right, and they can actually talk to you and that they can have reliability in what they say to you and that they're not going to be judged for sharing life experiences. And the minute that you give somebody the idea to close that up, then they don't really want to come back to you, to both of your points that you already made. And so these different conversations that I've had, there was an NPR opportunity there too, where we talked about hookup culture and differences between people that really are looking for love and romance, but they're in a dating culture that is really fast with microwave results and constantly pushing out moments where we don't have patience. I had to sit by a phone, like many of us on these, in the chat and right here talk. You had to sit by the phone and wait for somebody to call you. You had to wait for somebody to ask you for the number. You didn't just get to scroll through a social media page and find all these endless resources. Like dating is different now. Resources are different now. Relationships look different now. And people are finding out that they're picking too quickly and our divorce rates are really high because we don't have the patience. But that's what all of these conversations have been that you're scrolling through. And
his Facebook page looked good.
You said what now?
His Facebook page looked good.
Oh,
that's how they're judging now. They're judging by what his Facebook page.
Correct.
Right? They're judging by how many friends he got, all kinds of stuff, instead of like putting that time in. Yeah.
Yeah. We are a microwave society. I will consistently advise it because we don't know patience, even with ourselves. We're like, I want the fastest internet. I want the fastest weight loss. I need the fastest everything, even including down to my service on my phone and the way that I need these commercials are popping up on my TV. Like we have no choice but to listen and wait. I had the same experience y'all have listening for Quiet Storm and putting a tape in a little thing and waiting for your favorite song to play all day because you just couldn't push forward something really, really fast. But now that's where our heads are.
So I want to pay extras because I don't want to watch the commercials.
Wow.
That's where we are.
That's $4 extra. I don't care. I don't want to watch the commercials.
Yes, I don't want to wait 3 minutes.
That's
you can do something extra with that $4.
That's
not my $4. We not watching the commercials.
So sad. But I'm admitting that is me. You have the link on here for your book also.
Thank you.
That is there.
Yes.
Go back here. And
I'm so grateful.
Yeah, that Amazon page got me. Now I got to figure out how I'm gonna get my autographed copy.
I'm gonna add it back to the website because you're not the first person who's asked, like, could you please just sign this thing? And I was sending it to your house. So it's really just, there's a message for you. You can actually type in what you want me to write as if I were at an actual book signing.
Wow.
And I took it off because I was like, I don't know if anybody wants to still, but people are like, where did it go? I'm like, oh, okay. I'll add it back.
That was a good way to get a feel on, see if they really were paying attention and if they want it also. That was a good way. And they're like, where is it?
Yeah, right. I'm like, oh, y'all are paying attention. Okay.
They love me. They love me.
I'm clicking on the one that says, where's the page at? That's what I'm looking for.
This is really a nice website there. And I'm also showing, I love to show people's websites and show all this. We put the links up there and everything for them, but I like to show them. And it also, I think, gives other people a nice chance to look and see and consider what they might want to do for their webpage also.
I appreciate that. Well, shameless plug, it's Wix.com, and it's me. Like I've actually assembled this website based upon the vision that I had. Yeah, Wix is awesome for that. So if you are interested in building your own, or if you're like, I'm not a web designer by any means, but you have an idea of what you want it to look like. And so there's a mobile version that you can actually click through. It looks very different than this because this is your actual just span of things. And it's going to change. It'll change in a minute because I would rather have someone who does this for a living so that all the different changes, I don't have to go and do it myself. And I have had some different designs that I followed or looked at, and I was like, okay, I kind of like them, just piecing stuff together. So if you are interested, anybody listening who's like, I want a website, Wix.com, they will do, and they have the AI generated version now. I don't have that version on here, but it actually creates the whole thing for you when you type in your stuff, and then you just plug in and drag and drop pictures if you want. So you can even do it that. This is from scratch. So I was like, I don't know what I want it to look like. So I was just moving stuff over. But yeah, they have that option. So I'm thankful that you're showing it. A lot of people probably need to see all the different affiliations and things. These are things that I'm involved in.
I got down to the bottom of the page. I was like, okay, fine.
All the groups. So anything that's going on in the community, all the different projects that I have created, all the different things that I'm interested in. There's something for Divine Nine that will roll out recently, advised information. It will come out to be able to help with mental health, because that's a part of what I'm interested in, right? And we don't understand the capacity in which we serve mental health individuals all the time, and things that are related to that. And so it'd be great to tap into our organizational groups that are led by individuals that are stakeholders of people who are disproportionately impacted. And Divine Nine is one of them. It's a Black Greek letter organizational group for anyone who's listening doesn't know about Divine Nine. But
I was like, okay, now see, there's probably like two of us on this broadcast, maybe three that knew what the Divine Nine are. And I'm like, now people are going, oh, see, that's another cult thing they got going on. The Divine Nine are the Black Greek fraternities and sororities. Please check your HBCU. Oh, never mind.
Absolutely.
That'll be a whole nother thing for y'all to look up. But yeah. No, that's a good thing with the Divine Nine. Yeah.
Thank you. I know there's some other questions over here. I did like Sally's request. I know that you had asked about the NAT results, and yes, that is it. The NAT testing is what we probably should have, and that's the Western University of Washington location, and that Western blot that's there. We need to probably have a conversation with the individuals who control that decision, and we don't have that. And so, yes, you're accurate right here. This information is what will lead you to that conversation. And then you also mentioned different things about before everything arrived, back when we weren't even talking about things that existed and things popped up around the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and we weren't having different conversations at that time, but we should have been, just in preparation, but we didn't know. Another kind of example of not having the resources back then to know what to do that we know now. And then everything else that you've mentioned about filters and too many things that just disrupt our authenticity. That's what a lot of people talk to me about with their self-esteem is impacted by this fake version that you're comparing yourself to. You don't even recognize that the version of beauty that you're looking to be isn't even real. There was a whole conversation that this woman implemented, and I know we're running out of time here, but there's this conversation that this woman implemented, and she put it on her page.
No,
and I posted it.
We're not.
We're not. Oh, okay.
They watch this over here, right?
Yeah. So she posted something, and I reposted it for her, and it wasn't, I don't even think that I thought about the impact, but she was saying that she had an idol. She asked this idol to speak, And she spoke to her, and she had followed all these different pictures on her page. And she was like, oh my gosh, she had red bottoms. She just looked so fabulous. I needed to have her as a person who would speak at my event. And so the same day of the event, she was contacted by this person to say that she was sleeping on a couch and she was about to get evicted. But on her page, she had a lavish life of all the purses, all the shoes, all the cars. And she literally lived up to this like lifestyle that she was a part of in our minds. But then when she reached out, this woman reached out to talk to her about that lifestyle she thought existed. The woman's telling her it's fake. You know, I'm about to lose my job and my house. And like, I don't even have these things. And so the same thing about your esteem and the ways that you're comparing yourself and the ways that you're trying to maneuver and live your life are compared to someone else's highlight reel all the time. And you're not even registering that you're coming to services and therapy talking about, this is what my life should be. These are the milestones I was told I need to have. I don't have the right kind of job. I don't have the right kind of body. And you're comparing it again to somebody's filter. So to your point, Sally, yeah, too many filters. You don't even get to see who this person is. And we have been destroying our regular bodies and our regular minds and things, thinking we have to catch up to where surgery is like a thing. It's in now to be that, to where you could actually be working in the gym and doing something for you and actually have an authentic way that you look, but you're being compared to the BBL and the person who's looking at you and trying to size you up next to the other person. And is this real? And does your face actually look like that? And catfishing was an indicator a long time ago. And we laughed it off like, oh, that's wild. But now
it's a real thing.
No, I'm laughing. And Moni, you probably have a good idea why I'm laughing. I'm when I'm not sitting here with Moni, I'm actually a professional photographer.
Oh, love it.
And one of the craziest things is you get to see these models after they get their makeup on. I get to see them at 4:00 in the morning. Okay. It's not the same person. Truly not. You know, and it's funny because and what you're saying is exactly the fact. Everybody's living off of this page. They're living off of this creation that they've made. And then when something goes wrong, boop, now what?
Well, I'll tell you what, because I deal with the other because I deal with the other side of it on the professional side.
Yeah, you're the makeup person. So you know truly how ugly they are when they see you.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. We don't use that word.
I'm sorry. That's right.
And that's exactly the exact thing that I deal with in Hollywood, because when they sit in my chair and the things they say about themselves, and then when you sit in my chair and you say something negative about yourself, you're required to say 3 good things about yourself.
Yay! I love it.
I said, you didn't do that to me.
There are other reasons why.
Okay. I just wanted the truth to be, I wanted to be transparent here. Okay.
Exactly.
I was talking bad about myself and you was like, well, go ahead. Keep going.
No, not at all. So not at all. That's not true.
Teasing.
That's not true. I'm on you all the time. However, yeah, you can't do that in my chair. Not at all. You're required immediately to say 3 good things about yourself. It doesn't have to be physical. You must say 3 good things about yourself. I don't go for that. I don't go for fishing for compliments, and I don't go for, I'm this or I'm not that, or no, 3 good things immediately.
I love that.
You have to do it, because I'm like, no, this is like the industry. This industry is hard and rough on these people, and it chews them up and spits them out. And we're not getting ready to sit in my chair and I'm getting ready to put all this stuff on you and make you look like snatched and look like this. And then you're going to think, oh, I look pretty. You look pretty before I do all of this. And that's what you're getting ready to figure out before I touch you. Because ain't nothing getting ready to move until you tell me that. So yeah, I play 0 games, 0 games on that stuff. So now I want to bring something else up on the screen. There you go, right there, right there, right there, right there.
Ah.
So for the people to see, so you all can talk about it a little bit more, so they can understand exactly what that is. I brought that up on the screen.
Divine Nine.
The Divine Nine. Yes,
Yeah.
and I am a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. For anyone who is interested in what I'm representing, right? That's me.
So brought that up, and then correct me if I am wrong, because I did have the site up before, and I don't know how I lost it. Headquarters is in Carmel, Indiana, I believe.
Said what's in
the headquarters is in Carmel, Indiana.
For Zeta or for MPHC?
No. For NKC, the headquarters is in Carmel, Indiana, I believe.
It depends. So there's MPHC National Panhellenic for all of us. And then right now, like say, for example, there's an MPHC of Atlanta, there's an MPHC of different cities and spaces. And so if you're interested in each one of them, they have their own location. And then you have the headquarters of MPHC. And you also have the headquarters of each organization that is also sharing certain areas of the headquarters of MPHC.
Oh, you got deep on me. You got deep. You got too deep on me. The one I pulled up said, well, see, I'm originally from Gary, Indiana.
Oh, yeah, I know some Gary folks.
And I went to college in Indianapolis. And then once I got ready to move my boys, we lived in Carmel. And I was like, Carmel? Okay. Okay. I looked down there and I was like, okay, I didn't have a clue that was in Carmel. Okay, so I felt a little connection there, but now it's gone. I thought that was the headquarters, but now the connection is totally gone. It's totally gone.
Okay. There's many things that happened in Greek life that built themselves in Indiana, in Indianapolis, absolutely. So there's different areas that both sides got it, on top of different things that we've done everywhere. So I think probably some prominent places that you're interested in or have been to have also happened in your place of origin. So there's
look at her trying to make me feel good.
Mm-hmm. It's in Illinois where most of their stuff was created. So if you're part of the Midwestern region, this is where, Kansas City, so this is representing the Midwestern part of it. So what actually happened where you saw it, I'm not certain, but I know that at least on the Illinois side that we started there. So
there you go. So I was going to show you sorority, but I was going to make sure I showed you blue and white there before I left. I had to do that.
Yes, that's a Zeta organizational leadership conference that I just attended to make sure that we're advancing ourselves in the highest form of our sorority. And so they created a space for us to be able to do that. And it wasn't always in existence, but they felt like if you need to be equipped to lead, you're going to need a program in order to do that. And so this is the 11th cohort that has come out. So they've had it happening for the last 11 years. And it's been amazing that I was able to be a part of this process, because what that means is now I get to continue to advance in my sorority in different positions. Right now, I am our Southeastern Regional Mental Health Coordinator. I was just recently appointed to that. And so thank you.
Yes.
That's for the Georgia area, Florida, South Carolina, the Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, and the Virgin Islands. And so all of those areas I'm responsible for their mental health. So I'm really excited because all of the mental health stuff that is happening for my life right now it's been about the last 18 months or so. So there's this big boom of stuff. And that's kind of the point that I'll leave us on, is really understanding that you have to plant these seeds with intent. Good intent, just knowing that you've spoken it. The law of attraction tells you that you just speaking it and saying it is a part of it already being done. Now you just have to see it through. Now you just got to walk the path. So it's almost like I'm on the path right now. I speak the thing I want, and then it's kind of just thrown into wherever you're going to end up. And you just have to walk in that direction to find it. So almost like somebody took your keys from your car and just threw them in the middle of the woods. Now you got to walk to find them, and you're going to find your keys again. You will. You're going to find it. And that's the exact same thing that happens with what you speak. And so I've been planting these seeds and doing these things and completely forgot, like, oh, these are things that I've planted, and with good intent, continue to follow that direction with what you're good at versus what you're called to do. And a lot of us have a resume of good ats. And when you ask, what are you and what do you do? We lean right into the role of who we are on a daily basis and what we do. But most of us are not in what we're called to do. And so you get lost in this purpose that you don't know and you're trying to find, and your happiness is in your kids and your happiness is in your career, and it's not in yourself because you're doing what you're good at. And so a lot of us probably could spend a lot more time trying to find out what we're called to do. Why are you here? Why have you been given life every day you keep waking up? And if you're not in that lane, then it's going to be a lot harder to get these seeds to reach harvest because you don't know what you're planting. You're just like, I want money. I want whatever. And you don't know, there's nothing targeting exactly what you feel like is going to come to you. So what I've been doing very intentionally is speaking what I want and what I like, and then asking if it's in the design of what I've been here to do. Because I can ask for a Maserati and I can ask for me to move to Spain or, all these different things. But if it's not in the design of where I'm supposed to go, then I'm kind of doing this in vain with all the wants, as if, the universe is some genie or my prayers are supposed to fall in alignment with the 3 wishes, right? And it's really me saying, I want to make sure that what I'm here to do, I actually spend my time in that direction. So I don't have to keep doing these U-turns, and I don't have to keep getting to these brick walls and turn all the way around because I decided to be hard-headed and take the wheel and go in the direction of what I'm good at and just keep taking the job because I need the money I was like, I want to be in my purpose. I want to wake up on a Monday and not recognize that it's Monday. I want to be excited to actually do what I'm supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. And people would have a far less attitude every single day being upset about, I got to do these things because you're not in what you are supposed to be here doing. That kind of cohesion in your life releases so much, and it creates a different level of peace that you won't feel until you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And a lot of people are like, how do I get to that? I have no idea how to get to that. And literally, God will always pull us into our purpose. Exactly. That's exactly right. And you are thinking in your head, you can only see the vision that's ahead of you. There are things on mountains that are looking down saying, you don't even realize what's on the other side of that wall. You don't know because you can't see it. So you're only throwing out goals based upon how far you can see. You're not actually saying, let me just speak it and then hope that the path I go to or get to is going to bring it to fruition. And that's the part of your faith or your understanding or just the belief in yourself that brings stuff out of you. And so if you're constantly, even right now, if you're trying to think about what you're supposed to be doing with your life, are you in what you're good at or are you in what you're called to do? And if both of them exist together, that's awesome. That's the beauty of what, we want. But you really want to make sure that you're not in a role that's been assigned to you because you're really good at being a mom. You're really good at being a daughter. You're really good at being a wife. You're really good at being this person in this CEO role. But is that what you really feel? Are you happy? Do you have happiness? Do you have peace? Because if not, you might not be in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing. So you keep chasing these ideas and running this rat race because you're not actually in alignment with what is going to create a sense of, peace for you. So I hope that when you find your sense of worth, your sense of self and esteem, again, connecting to the relationships that you have and all of the different things that you do, that it comes from having a sense of self-worth in what you're actually here for. And that when you plant these seeds, you're doing it with intent to not just get it because you don't want to be left out, but I really feel that this is what is supposed to be for me. And the more that you align yourself to that, doors will fling open. And you're wondering why, like, all of a sudden, every light, how you drive down the road, every light is green. Yeah. And you're like, oh, this is great. I haven't had to stop. That's exactly what will happen when you align yourself to what you're supposed to be doing. Other than that, you're going to have a job. Yeah, you might retire from that job. You might be fine from that job. You absolutely could live in a space where you are okay. But when you have to think in terms of how many summers do I have left? How many winters do I have left? Are you using your time wisely? Because I can say I want to live to 90, but that's also me recognizing I have maybe a little less than 60 summers left. So if I'm not doing so well with the first few that I've had in the last few years, maybe I should be reevaluating how I'm spending my time so that every time a ball drops, I'm not just like, oh, new year, new me. And then I am nothing different every year. So it's these seeds. What you're looking at is just seeds and hard work of tears and blood and sweat going into something that I wanted to happen, not even for me, because these lessons aren't for me. This book is not for me. I thought it was. I was like, but you can't write from pain. You have to write from wisdom, because I'm going to write you a story of a bunch of pain, a bunch of hurt, and I haven't learned anything. And I'm going to give you poor information because you're not listening from me. So I'm trying to find spaces of wisdom and clear out areas that can help me continue to build. So the exact same thing I will tell anyone who's listening, all of the ears that are going to hear this entire broadcast. It's about finding who you are and reconnecting to pieces of you that you didn't even know were lost. And most of that is from a previous version of you haven't gone back to and said, come this way. I want you proud of me. I love you. You are enough. All those things I've been telling you for all these years. I apologize because I didn't recognize that you were listening. So I'm over here in my bad relationships and my bad stuff I got telling me about who I'm not. Meanwhile, 8-year-old version of me heard all of that and was like, dang, we're not? I thought we were amazing. And so you got to go back and grab that person. And then you sow seeds from there. And the wisdom that you have comes from that. And then your law of attraction actually pulls in what you're called to do. So that's the magic of what's happening to me right now, because it looks like, oh my gosh, what's that? Literally, I'm walking to my purpose. I chose to, because I used to do what I'm good at. And now I'm like, nope, I will not ask for any more Indeed job applications to define how much I'm worth, because that was absolutely the determining factor. I'm going to tell y'all what I think you should pay me based upon me applying to your job. And I'm going to only hit that ceiling and say, that's it. Great. Because the job told me so. And now I'm like, I can actually do more. Let me try to do more. And when I found out I could do more, oh my goodness, floodgates, right? So that's what you're watching. You're watching the more.
There you go.
So y'all, look.
Nuggets.
Her cash app is.
There you go.
It says Therapy Thursday. It says Therapy Thursday, but it is Wednesday. Okay, for you that are watching this live. Wow, that was platinum on so many levels.
Yeah,
that was spiritual on so many levels. That was real on so many levels. That was thank you on so many levels.
On so many levels, yes.
That was, I don't know how many levels and ways to say bless you, thank you, namaste. I don't know. I mean, seriously.
I love it. Thank you.
I keep it real on all the levels, and my God, just thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for going through and doing the work that you've done on you. And thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I told you before you got here, like, it is going to be such an honor, and you have lived up to that for sure. Oh my God. And everyone that is here live, oh my gosh, Buffy, our 6 months ahead version of us is whispering to us. Need to get quiet and listen. Buffy. Sally, yes.
You got up on the screen, yeah.
That was up there. Thank you for being our guest tonight. You're an amazing and accomplished person. Namaste. Yes. For those who are here right now, I know we always have a lot of people who are here that just never say anything. And we respect your privacy and everything. But for those of you who are here and just put a dot or something, you got to say something. I know you felt that. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with yourself. Y'all felt that, okay?
Come on out the closet, because we know you heard it, okay?
Y'all felt that. And I'm, make sure that you go to her pages. And, I'm always saying, as far as subscribe to us and all that, I'm getting ready to tell you, make sure you subscribe to her pages. Make sure you follow me. That Therapy Thursday is still rolling at the bottom, honey. Make sure you get over there. I'm going to get over there on some Therapy Thursday.
I'm going to say this to the male listening audience.
Absolutely.
Right? If you find a way to man up, this is the way to man up. Get in here, check this young lady out.
Yeah.
Okay? What she is bringing to us is generational. What she is bringing to us is a new way for us to break generational curses, for us to break away from our violent attitudes and a lot of things that we don't know about. Please check this young lady out. Look at this. There's something that you didn't see here tonight. It's because you weren't watching. That's why we have a replay. Take time. Look at the
Put
replay.
your earbuds in. Put your earbuds in. You know what I'm saying?
You know how y'all do when you go to the reading room. Y'all go in the reading room, put your earbuds in while you're sitting there and listen to this, because this is real.
Yeah, tell your followers to going down to my Facebook page. There's almost all our links are on the show tonight. Yes. Most definitely. And go back and look at her website. Go look at her Instagram page. The website for sure, because it has a link to everything that we talked about tonight. That website does. Let me go back up here and put the website up there, right there, that website. And I'll say it for all of those who are listening and not watching. It is www.sheerllc.com. Did I say it right, brother? Because my lips.
www.sheerllc.com. What she
there
said.
You go.
Yeah.
Okay, so you heard it in the deep voice, and you heard it in my voice, and we both said it correctly. Go check out the website. The website has links to absolutely everything that we talked about today on it. So I would suggest that was the best one to go to. And then once you go there, then you can follow all the other ones, all of her social media and everything. But you can get to everything from her website in order to find the podcast, the book, everything. If you want to make appointments with her, you find out where she is, because it has a contact. I ain't gonna say it had a map up there, but it did. It did. It made me a little uncomfortable, but it did. I don't know what. It made me a little uncomfortable, but it did have a map up there to something. But definitely go to the webpage and check her out, and make sure you follow, because the knowledge and the platinum nuggets that she dropped were heavy. I'm going to call them platinum boulders.
I was going to say they boulders. Yeah.
They were boulders.
They were boulders.
And I'm so glad that you hung around with us longer today, and you felt comfortable enough to stay on here with us.
No, it's real, because I wish I could show you my screen. I just marked your website as a favorite. Okay, because I know I'm coming back. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna try to do anything with. Yes, look right here. I'm coming back. Okay.
Appreciate your support.
Okay.
Yes, that's why I had to slow him down, because he would have laid down on the sofa. He had a whole therapy session.
Oh yeah, I did. I'm waiting for her to send me an invoice.
I know him. I had to interrupt him because he got to going, and then he'd been in tears, and he'd been talking about. I had to stop him. Because he found one of his people again. So I had to stop him.
Well, I mean, you have to embrace your people.
I know. I know the look in his eye when he's found his people.
When we find ours, yes, I'm looking at you. When we find ours, no matter where we find them, embrace them. You are an educator.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You educate on so many different levels that there's nothing for us to do but listen. So I'm here. Send me the invoice. Okay.
That went out to the world. That went out to the world right there.
That's good.
All
Yeah.
those 150 countries right there. That went out. And yes, I'm very grateful. And do you feel empowered?
I do feel empowered. I feel uplifted and inspired and very grateful that you had me here today to share this message and that you have left me feeling so warmly, introduced to this platform. And I can't wait to continue to speak to you in the future.
Absolutely. And like I said, seriously, as far as with StreamYard, I'd be more than happy to introduce you. I'll send you my link, my referral link, so you get a little discount and everything in there. And I'd be more than happy to show you whatever you like to know in reference to it. I'll send you my link when I get off of here. But it's definitely a great platform. Do you feel like you empowered others tonight?
You know what? Based upon the responses and the conversation that we had, it helps me to know, and the feedback helps me to know that I have. I'm always grateful when that happens, because your work is in vain if it's not actually helping others lead themselves. And so, it's great to have all the knowledge, but the point is to be able to share it and teach. So if that has been happening for many individuals, I absolutely feel the same.
This is the first class I've listened to. And I don't know how long. When did I graduate college? Back in the 70s? Yeah, it's been a long time.
Barney Rubble.
Look. Why you gonna put it all out there, okay?
Y'all are so funny.
you are so wrong, okay? So wrong. Just because Vivian Thomas was a classmate of mine. That ain't nobody's business. Okay. I know the Divine Nine personally. Why you got to tell everybody my business?
I'm just saying. You still have the tablets from your class, but go ahead. And I'm not talking the digital one.
A matter of fact, the wife told me to move them. She wanted the dust behind them, so I have to make.
I just feel like if tonight was the Pentecostal church, like they'd be laying all on the floor tonight. They'd be laying all out. They'd be laying all out. That's just how
like Reverend Al. Be like Reverend Alvin. All right, the doors of the church are now open.
Tithes and offering passing.
Right.
The bucket would be full.
Right.
The bucket would be full.
Now, brothers reaching after work money and putting it in there. Yes.
Look, and they'll tell you, I don't compliment easily, honey. I do not. And I am outdone. I just pull some beads out of my hair. Wait a minute.
I was ready to get on you, Moni, because I was like, you didn't ask me if I felt empowered, because I talk what you're gonna do.
Yeah, you both feel empowered?
Yes.
Wait,
yes.
You got Sally asking too.
Yes.
I'm the only one supposed to ask that question. Everybody asks it.
No, because as long as she's empowered, we empowered. So we will.
Everybody's asking. Yes, absolutely. Everybody feels it.
Okay.
It was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much. This was Doreen, she told me, she's like, oh, you're gonna have so much fun. Like, we had the fun, but oh my gosh, like in the herpes thing. Woo!
Yeah, that kind of shut the whole room down. She said herpes, and everybody was like,
yeah.
Yeah,
you have educated, and you have inspired, and you have done your job. You have come and done your job. Yes, ma'am. So thank you so much. You are more than welcome again. Yes, you have found a home. And yes, ma'am, you enjoy yourself and have a great. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us before you leave?
I am very grateful and thankful to have been here. And I hope if you have any additional questions or individuals that come to you, just send them my way. I'll be right here.
We absolutely will. Thank you so much. You enjoy yourself. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Do the same.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh my goodness. That was great.
Don't play.
My throat hurting a little bit.
Look, you think I'm joking? I'm over here like, You know, when you're doing that cramming for that school test.
Who's Facebook user? Put your name up there. Put your name. So I said, Chris, I was talking to Elena, and she was very complimentary about you. Just wanted to let you know.
Thank you, Lena. Thank you very much. You and Jim both. Thank you.
Was that just necessary? But okay.
What, for me to say thank you?
No, I was talking to Sally.
Wait. She can't pass on information that she got. This whole show is about passing on information.
So why text you that? She could have texted you that.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell who my friends are, right? As soon as the guest leaves, all of a sudden stuff starts flying. See?
She could have texted you that. It wasn't necessary.
Now you read it on there. That was on you. But
I was just trying to be nice. Anyway.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Who's a Facebook user? Gives us 2 thumbs up. What's your name? Tell me your name. Tell me your name. And she got a long one here. She called me and we chatted and we were talking about the show, and somehow your name came up, that you were very smart and a lot of fun and very educated. And of course, she also mentioned Moni too. I don't like how that came out. Good.
Why? Because I finally got the smart and that's what it was, right? It's like he got the smart and some. I just got the good things about you too. Okay.
And also Moni was mentioned.
Don't it feel funny back here on the tail?
No, not at all. I'm fine.
Oh, that's because it's your first time being back there.
I'm fine.
No,
I'm
thank you. Thank you again. I appreciate it.
Good. Great show. Great show. What is this?
Why don't you read that out loud? Huh? Why don't you read that out loud? Well, that shut everything down, didn't it? All of a sudden, it's quiet. You know we ain't supposed to make that in.
I saw exclamation points and stuff.
Right? She's like, Lord, no, I'm not reading that.
That's not necessary to read.
Oh, now it's not necessary to read.
That wasn't necessary to read aloud, Sally.
Wow.
So I definitely like to thank WUBI Ubiquity Radio listeners and viewers. We'd like to thank iHeartRadio. We'd like to thank Apple. I see you just looking. Here we go. Google, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter. Did I say Twitter already? And all the other great platforms that we're on that I can never say to mention all of them. I'm just trying to clear things up. It takes a minute. She said, I'm just trying to clear things up. It takes a minute for me to respond to your comments, and then you don't say anything.
See. You cold-blooded. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay, Sally. I know. I just like to give Chris a little.
I want to thank you, Sally, for passing on the information. Thank you.
Yeah, Tony got on me about you today, and
what?
I had to put him in his place.
Why?
He thought that I'm hard on you. He thought I'm hard on all men.
Wow, really?
And I said, you're a lie. I said, I give Chris very distinct instructions, and Chris likes to buck the instructions.
No, I don't buck the instructions. I don't. I just think when you say call me, and we working on 3 hours after that, okay, this is not a phone call. This is a damn meeting. You need to say, let's have a meeting.
One, that's your fault it took that long, not mine.
It don't matter whose fault it was. You should have called it as a meeting. See, when you say call me, that means we're going to have a conversation and we're going to hang up the phone. Okay? What you were doing was you were doing a whole seminar. And see, that's how that went.
It's not my fault that it took you 3 hours to learn how to do a reel. And like I told you, I was on the phone with you.
You mean when your thing said reel and mine didn't? And then when mine said reel,
not my fault. Not my fault. You kept
You was
hitting the
telling me
wrong
to go to
button.
Real when you didn't even find the Real?
That was remix. See what I'm saying? How you don't know?
No, because you said Real, and then either one you couldn't find them. Well, I can find them.
I could find them. That's fine. You couldn't. Now, the bottom line is,
Oh,
I
here we
was
go
on
the
the
bottom
phone.
line.
I was on the phone the same time you were on the phone. I
Yep.
didn't tell you to go do something while I went to go to sleep. I was on the phone the same time you were
All
until
I'm
1 in
saying
the
is that
morning.
you're
And
calling
I
me,
had to
calling
be
me.
up, and I had to be up at 3 in the morning. No, 4 in the morning for a gig. You were going to get off the phone and go to sleep. So what I said was,
Wait a
don't
minute, wait a minute.
complain
When
to
did
me.
my house get so?
I didn't want to hear your mouth. Because I was on the phone same time as you with the same issues. So zip it.
But wait a minute. When, how do you know what's going on in my house? Do I have saran wrap walls?
I
You're
don't
talking
care.
about I'm gonna go to sleep, and you don't know what I'm doing.
I don't care, really. I'm on the phone with you.
Okay, yes, you on the phone with me, but you know what?
Exactly.
How about we do ourselves a favor and get off the air because it's 1:54 and 29 again.
We're fine. Say your thing, sir.
Oh, my thing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to celebrate my brother Pierre's 50th birthday. He just went to heaven earlier this year, but we're all still celebrating his life and his accomplishments. Pierre Scott, you will always be loved, and you are truly, truly missed.
Absolutely.
Yes. Now, as far as the other person that I love, my wife, who keeps me on track, who keeps me empowered, keeps me focused. I will always say this: I love you. Thank you very much for all that you do. Back to you, boss.
What I was saying, no, I'm just playing.
You now the news. So sad, so rudely interrupted.
Right. Yes. And yes, we do want to say a happy heavenly birthday to Pierre. We all definitely miss him. That is definitely a hard one on all of our hearts. Yeah, I was talking to Terrence just the other day in reference to that. Definitely. I want to thank all of our viewers, all of our guests, our past guests and our upcoming guests. I'm very appreciative for all of them. I want to thank Empower Magazine, of course, for entrusting their guests to us. You know, that is a huge level of trust, to trust Moni, not Chris, but Moni.
Number love in this room, y'all. Just understand.
No, see, you didn't let me finish.
Well, it sounded like it pretty much was finished there.
No, you didn't let me finish, because Moni is definitely a wild card. See how you, because Moni is definitely a wild card. But you know that I handle business, and I'm going to take care of your people. Because I definitely love. This is my jam right here. This is what I do. When I'm not feeling well, this makes me feel great. And then I go back to not feeling well right after. Great show, great host, great guest tonight. I agree with all of those. A great director of research. Don't forget yourself in there.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
Don't ever forget yourself in there, because I sincerely appreciate you, Sally. I absolutely do. So let me definitely say that. I appreciate WUBI Ubiquity Radio. I appreciate my husband, who definitely appreciate him. I'm just gonna say that. Look at Chris looking at me there. He's like, "Don't say it. Don't say it."
No. Look, I love the brother too. So, but I don't love him like you do. But I understand.
Yeah, he gets in my grip. Lord have mercy. So I do. I appreciate the personalities there at WUBI that show plenty of support. I do appreciate them. I appreciate. Yeah, and the other personalities too that do come through, and the ones that give me calls and texts and whatever and say, hang in there, and whatnot on those difficult days that I have when I have them. Because trust me, there are sometimes I just want to say, I want to quit just because, sometimes it just gets difficult. So I do appreciate all of them. I appreciate all of it. I'm quite grateful and appreciative for the good days and bad days and in between. So you guys make sure to subscribe. DJ Baylo is the bomb.
I think we should end on that. That's right there. That should be it. Don't say another word. Just run the credits. Just run the credits. Just DJ Baylo is the bomb. Boom.
Can we stop the arguing? Can we take a moment where we can calm down? It's just so exhausting. Swinging in the wind, going round and round. I know that we won't say sorry. You beg and I plead, but my heart can't beat until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations. I know that we won't say sorry until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations, baby. I see me addressing you. Let me put the smile right onto your face, tracing every inch of you. Using my tongue to find you